Today we are going to be multiplying monomials. So what exactly is a monomial? So a monomial is a number, a variable, or a product of a number and one or more variables with non-negative integer exponents. So monomial is a number, like 10. It's also a variable, like x or y. It's the product of a number, like 10x, or x squared, because that's x times x. That's what the product means. Anything that's being multiplied. It's also anything with non-negative integer exponents. So this 2 is non-negative. So these are all examples of monomials. So now we're going to be multiplying some monomials. In this example, we are going to be working with the product of powers. So if we're going to be multiplying two numbers that have different powers. So for the first example, we have x to the 5th times x to the 4th. To figure that out, all you have to do, if they have the same base, which these both have x, all you have to do is add the exponents. So this basically means x, and then all you have to do is just add 5 plus 4, and that's going to equal x to the 9th. This is our final answer. Now let's look at the second one. We have 2 to the 4th times 2 to the 8th. Instead of actually working all that all the way through, remember, we can, if we're using the same base, we have 2 as our base, and we have 4 plus 8. Just add them together. So we have 2 to the 12th would be our final answer. So now we're going to simplify some expressions. I'm going to do the first two, and then you're going to do the one in black. So if we have 6n to the 4th times negative 2n to the 3rd, remember we're multiplying. So first thing that we can do, we have some whole numbers. Let's just multiply them. So 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. Now we have n to the 4th, and we're multiplying it n to the 3rd. Now remember, since we said that they're the same base, all that we have to do is add the exponents together, so that's n to the 7th. That is what our final answer would be. So we're multiplying the whole numbers, then all we have to do is just add the exponents. So let's look at this next one. We have 3p t to the 7th times p to the 3rd and t times t to the 2nd. So remember, if this one just has a whole number, but there's no whole number here. Think of this as a 1. So what is 3 times 1? That's 3. Now remember this p, how many p's would this be? This is p to the 1st. So if we have p to the 1st times p to the 3rd, that would be p to the 4th. Then we have t to the 7th and t to the 2nd. That would be t to the 9th. And this would be our final answer. Now what I want you to do is to pause the video, look back what we just did over here, pause the video and try this one. So unpause the video when you're ready to see what I've done. Okay, so we have negative 4 times r times x to the 2nd t to the 3rd times 6r to the 5th x to the 4th. So from over here, we would multiply negative 4 times 6, which would be negative 24. Now we have our r's. Remember, this is r to the 1st. So r to the 1st and r to the 5th is r to the 6th. Now we have our x's, x to the 2nd and x to the 4th. Add the exponents together, we have x to the 6th. But now, you have a t to the 3rd and there's no t over here. All you gotta do, just bring it straight down. Just add it on. So we have t to the third. So this would be our final answer. So now we're going to be figuring out how to multiply powers of a power. That means if we have y to the third and we're going to raise that to the fifth, this is the power of a power. So the way that we do that, all we have to do is multiply the exponents. So I'm going to show you the first one and the second one, and you're going to do this one in black off to the right. So now we're multiplying the exponents since we have the power of a power. So all we have to do, multiply 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is y is equal to 15. That is the final answer because we multiplied 3 times 5. Now this second one, we have the power of a power of a power. So think of it as order of operations. Do the things that are inside the parentheses first. So if we have 3 times 2, that would be x to the 6, but still it is also raised to the second again. So we would do 6 times 2, which x would be equal, or it's equal to x to the 12th power. And this would be our final answer. Another way that you could do it, 3 times 2 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Times 2 is 12. So you can just multiply it all three together. Now what I want you to do, I want you to pause the video and try this one off to the right. Unpause it when you're ready to see what I've done. Okay, so if we have 2 to the third raised to the second raised to the fourth. So remember, like what we did down here at the bottom left, we still have our base of 2. Then we have 3 times 2 is 6, but now that is still raised to the fourth power. So 6 times 4 is 24. So it'd be, our base is still 2, so it's 2 raised to the 24th. This is our final answer. So now we're trying to find the power of a product. By that, I'm going to show you, if you look down here off to the left, we have a product here because we have these three things being multiplied. And it's also being raised to a power. So this is the power of a product. To do that, you would find the power of each factor and multiply. So I'm going to do the first one for you, and then I'll let you do the second one. Alright, so the first one. If we have negative 2 times x times y to the third, all raised to the fourth power. By that, remember, if we do negative 2 to the fourth power, so you would have negative 2 raised to the fourth, x to, and then we'd multiply that x to the fourth. And then with y, remember, multiply. That's y to the 12th. But I kind of want to simplify on this one. I want to simplify this negative 2 to the fourth. So that means it's negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. So negative 2 times negative 2 is equal to 4. So 4 times negative 2 is equal to negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 2 is equal to 16. So this negative 2 to the fourth can also be written as 16, and then the rest, x to the fourth, y to the 12th. So this is our simplified final answer. Alright, so what I want you to do, I want you to try this one off to the right. Remember, I'm going to recommend this. Always solve what's on the inside first, and then worry about that outside. So worry about this 2 to the second power before you worry about the 3 to the to the third power. So pause the video, unpause it when you're ready to see what I've done. Okay, so I'm going to worry about the inside first. I'm not even worried about the brackets and the 3 at all. So we have 2 times k times n to the third, all raised to the second power. So 2 to the second power, I know, is 4. And then if we have k to the second, and we have m to the third times to the raised to the second power, so multiply those together. So it's m to the 6. Now, add those brackets back in with the third. Now here we go again. 4 raised to the third power, that means 4 times 4 times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So, move all this off. So with this, so 4 to the third power is 64. If we have k to the second times 3, so we have k to the 6, and m, 6 times 3, m to the 18th. So this is our final answer. So a quick time for review. Remember, always simplify your expressions. Use your order of operations, and each base really should show up once. So if it's x to the second, and then you're multiplying it by another x to the fourth, remember the final answer is there's only going to be one x. So then you would add the second and the fourth together, so it'll be x to the 6. So please take your time, use all of your notes, look down in the comments section of this video to find a couple more videos that might help you out, and let me know if you have any problems.